Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me a little bit to check the video out. Really appreciate that. And guys, you're going to be glad you did today, because I'm going to share with something. I've talked about this briefly in the past, but I wanted to really pass it along to you guys right now because it's really good this time of year in the warmer weather months. And that's flipping a swim bait. This is flipping and pitching a swim bait, not fishing it like a swim bait. This is a technique that's been highly productive for me over the past probably 7 or 8 years. I've done really good in some tournaments on it. I finished high in several tournaments on it. And I'm going to show you how to rig it. We're going to talk about where you want to fish it at and sort of a little bit of tutorial on just the ins and outs of it in today's video. Also, guys, just wanted to extend a quick invitation out there. Just to, you might consider, if you guys haven't, might consider subscribing here to Intuitive Angling. It's a good way to support the channel by subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification button, and especially hitting the like buttons on the video if you like it. It really helps the channel out there a lot, so much appreciated. Okay guys, if you watch a lot of my channels, I've mentioned this a little bit in the past and just in brief passing, but I'll tell you a little backstory behind the technique, and then we'll get into exactly the best type of areas to fish it, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to rig it here. I was fishing up at FLW tournament, I think, up at the Lake Champlain. It's been about, God, this has probably been 12 years ago at least, or maybe more, maybe 15 years ago. And I was fishing with the one of the anglers out there that knew the people that own Kitech, the Kitech swim bait, which is the rib version. This is the Zoom Z Swim. This is the one I use, but the Kitech looks just like this. And anyway, not many people knew about the Kitech at the time, and he told me, he was from the Northeast, he told me about how it was his favorite bait to flip and pitch with. And I had never heard of anyone flipping and pitching a swim bait. But anyway, our next tournament after that, we went to the Potomac River. And Potomac River's got a lot of shallow grass and that type of deal. And anyway, I was fishing in the tournament there, in the FLW tournament. I was fishing this big grass bed, that had, shallow milfoil on it. And there was a lot of boats in there. Everybody was just like, it was a community hole. There must have been like 30 or 40 of us in this area that was probably, I don't know, maybe 5 acres. A bunch of people just roaming in and out of everybody. Most people flipping worms and creature baits and that type of stuff. And I remember what he told me, and I put on the Kitech, which is, like the Zoom Z Swim here, and I started pitching it and flipping it in those holes and started whacking them. And I was catching them so good. I remember David Dudley came over to him and he goes, "What are you using?" He goes, "You're sitting here catching fish right and left and nobody else is." And I told him what it was. And I've ever since then, it's been one of my favorite flipping and pitching baits. I've done really good, like I said, at Potomac on it. I finished high in that tournament. I've done really good down at Lake Okeechobee in it, all the Florida lakes. And also I've done really good on it, flipping flooded vegetation. We'll get into that a little bit. But I want to show you guys how to rig this. And I'm also, guys, I'll put my Tackle Warehouse links in the description to all the stuff you need to get set up on this. If you want to use that link, it's a good way to help the channel out. But anyway, this is the one I use, guys. This is the Zoom Z Swim. It's a 3.5-inch rib swim bait like that. You can use this or the Kitech, either one. First thing I do, like on all my salt plastics, rough it up a little bit, get that salt broken up, makes it a little bit softer. And then the setup on it, now you guys hear me talk about flipping and pitching and the hooks I use, that I don't like an EWG like this, an offset hook. This is one of the few lures that I do use the EWG, because in order, the way that this bait falls with the tail on it, it has to fall just perfectly right. And if you put a straight shank hook on it, it'll work okay, but for whatever reason, this bait works better with an EWG. It's one of the very few baits that I use an EWG hook. And this is the Gamakatsu G-Finesse Hybrid worm hook here. I'll link this in the description here. This is absolutely my favorite hook for it. It's got the O'Shaughnessy bend, super sharp. And what you want to do is just come in the bottom here, about probably 1/4 of an inch, and bring it out. Pretty simple rigging setup. Make sure, guys, that when you bring it out, you don't have the hook eye sticking out here. Make sure that hook eye is buried, and then you simply just come through, the bait like you would any other Texas rig. And then it's this Zoom Z Swim. See that little? It's got a little like a little channel right there to lay your hook in. So I've just got it laid perfectly in that channel. I don't got it, exposed, or I don't bury it back in there. And then with the sinker size, depending upon the cover that I'm using, I usually like anywhere between a 1/4 to a 5/8 sinker with it. And one of the things that I do with it here is I peg it with a toothpick. And If you guys are looking for something to peg, guys, that an old round toothpick is the best thing to peg with. I've tried the bobber stoppers, all that type of stuff. I like a round toothpick. Don't get a square toothpick, get a round one. And the reason I like a toothpick is that you can adjust the tension of how much you want that slip sinker to be moving or stationary. So from that standpoint, you know, I've got it in like that, put it in. If I'm flipping real heavy cover, I want it pretty tight, but other than that, you know, I'll have it just a little bit looser. So then I've got it, and that's the way the setup is like that. And you'll have to also, guys, sometimes you've got to sort of work with it to get it straight, because it's pretty precise in there as far as this bait lane. It's got to lay just right. So sometimes you have to, you know, spend some time, you know, getting it in there just at the right angle where it's straight like that. So that's the setup with it. Usually I got it on my Megabass Alcalys flipping stick with, you know, usually 17 to 20 pound test Seaguar and Vezex line. So this is I'm ready to go flipping and pitching like this. Now, when you see this thing, you'll see what I'm talking about, because when you flip it and pitch it in there, that tail's got that real wide waggle on it. And as the thing's falling, this tail is just really waggling like that. And I think this is what generates a strike, because if the fish can see it, it's an attractor. But also, even if they can't see it, they got the vibration of that tail going down there. And the fact that it's a shad pattern and not like a green pumpkin or black is another factor. This is another important thing about it, guys, is you want a shad pattern. You know, don't use like the green pumpkin or the black or the traditional colors to flip. That's one of the elements that works good with this bait, is it's like you're flipping a shad in there. I've caught a lot of fish in the past flipping and pitching white jigs and even glow in the dark jigs, but you want to get just some type of a shad pattern, the same type of a pattern that you would use for a regular swim bait. And guys, the main thing, like I said, if you got any type of shallow grass, I don't care if it's cattails, reeds, lily pads, milfoil, hydrilla, shallow gator grass, water willows, anything like that, it's outstanding for flipping and pitching in the holes of the grass. All you do is fish the TVA lakes and you've got that milfoil growing along the main river channels, give this a try. It's a really good way to catch them. And the other deal is, like I said, pitching it and flip it in any flooded cover. I have caught them on docks, especially around piling docks before. But guys, I'll tell you what, under the right situations, this thing will get you a bite like nothing else will. Water clarities for the most part. Also, I've done good at Kentucky Lake on this thing when it used to have grass in it. But for the most part, water clarities, I like a little bit cleaner water. This is not a technique that I've done good flipping and pitching with it in stained water. So I prefer water visibility of, you know, around at least 2 foot. 2 foot visibility or more is going to be really good for it. It works in real clear water also, but it's just another bait to get you guys, you know, some more bites in. I think a lot of times when you're talking about a flipping and pitching situation, the fish see creature baits, you know, like, you know, beavers and Z-hogs, brush hogs, worms, jigs, that type of deal. It's just something they don't see very much. So anyway, guys, give it a try. Tackle Warehouse link in the description. Get you some of the Z-Swims or the Kitex. Put it on your flipping stick and see what happens. I think you guys will be really surprised. So I hope it works out. We'll talk later.